All right.
Okay.
So we're doing a podcast about
cars. This is already a train wreck.
No, you're a train wreck. See, we're doing a podcast about
How dare you say that?
We're doing a podcast.
You don't need to lean in.
Okay, listen, we're doing
It probably makes you sound way too close.
All right, listen up, chump. We're doing a podcast about cars.
Fast versus slow.
Fast versus slow.
Which ones are more fun?
So like.
And which one's the better economic option?
Yeah. So like, do you want a Ferrari or do you want a Ford Focus?
I'd take a Ford Focus.
And be like Annika.
Don't say names. That's stupid.
She's in our class though, and she has a Ford Focus.
Yeah, but she still won't hear it.
Yeah. But it's
Miss Curtis might not even know she has a Ford Focus.
Miss Curtis. Yeah. Well.
I don't know what to call her.
All right. So. First topic, since Alyssa wants us to talk about economics, which is a wrap. We're going to talk about the cost effectiveness of.
Is that it? I can't read it.
Of Ferraris. No, wait, really? You can't read them without your glasses? No. It's cost benefit analysis, right?
The fuck does that mean? Hey, Timon, you're a professor at Harvard. Tell me what cost benefit analysis is.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to find. Okay, so.
Give it a minute.
Yeah, we can just edit this part out.
Train wreck.
Train wreck. This is going down.
This is a train wreck happening in slow motion.
We're at 60% capacity. Turn on the back. All right, where's the shit? Where is it? Opportunity cost. Okay. So, you buy a Ferrari. Okay. So, Ferrari probably cost used $130,000 new, $200,000 to $300,000.
Man, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Okay. So, a Ford Focus or a Golf GTI. We'll use a Golf GTI because I know more about them than a Ford Focus.
Why do you know more about Golf GTIs, Timon?
It's not because I have one. It's not.
I was going to say it's because you have one.
This is not a biased review.
This is a biased review.
Shut up. So the Ferrari costs a lot of money, yes. And then the GTI costs like what? New $30,000, used. I got mine for $10,000. And that's what like you can get a GTI for. I mean, with everything on top, it's probably gonna be more like $13,000, but that doesn't matter. So the question is, why buy the Ferrari over the GTI? So most people, when you're a kid, like most kids who like cars and all that stuff, they have like their poster of their favorite car, like a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, you know all those poster brands, right? And they're like, "Oh my God, mommy, I want a Ferrari when I grow up." And
I want a $500,000 car that'll crash immediately.
Exactly. So and their parents like, "You're dumb, kid." And then
no, they're not. They're like, if you work hard enough, you'll get it. And then they work hard, get it, and crash it.
Yeah. Okay. So right. So let's go off what Devin said. So the kid works hella hard. Now he's like 50. Okay, and he can actually afford the car. And his, if you have kids, you can't have a car like that anyway because it's just not how it works. So, so he bought the car. He's 50 now. But when you're 50, you want ride, comfort, you want all that kind of stuff. And a Ferrari's not going to give that to you.
I just had a point and I completely lost it.
Really?
I was thinking of something and now it's gone.
All right, well, I'll keep going. So, the Ferrari, it sucks because you're going to be driving...
Ferraris are awful. They're the sponsor.
I know, they're the worst because, like, you're driving on the road and then suddenly...
I know. Hot hatchbacks.
Hot hatches.
They're just more fun to drive because you can, like, kind of just go flat out through everything because you won't go really fast. But when you're driving a sports car, you have to take everything extremely seriously. You can't just, like, enjoy yourself.
So the way to look at it is like, I mean, a Ferrari, you go around a corner, you can use 10% of the throttle. You use too much throttle, you're going to be in the nearest tree.
You're done, son.
You're done, son. Golf GTI, you floor it around a corner, you're fine.
Ish. Unless you have no tires.
Unless you're dumb.
Unless you have no tires.
But you're probably going to be fine.
How are those tires holding up, Timon?
Awful.
Okay.
Okay, so, So the point is, like, you got to think about all the other stuff, too. So the Ferrari, the insurance is crazy high. Okay, it's probably going to be a few $1,000s a year. You got to do oil changes, all that kind of stuff. You got to do checkups. Those are, like, yearly checkups. Those are going to be, like, $1,000. And I read somewhere that to a Ferrari, yearly cost is $80,000. So it's $80,000 a year just to have a Ferrari.
And
that doesn't include buying
also
it.
say money isn't even an option. It's just convenience of having like a car with 4 seats and 4 doors rather than, or 5 seats and 4 doors rather than 2 seats, 2 doors, and if you drive it over a bump, it'll disintegrate.
Exactly, because what people don't realize if you've never been in a car with a hard suspension, it really sucks. Like, if you are on a moderately bumpy road, your spine will break. Like, you are going to the hospital in a Ferrari. It's just going to happen.
My dad has a Lotus Elise, and that thing is...
It sucks.
Because the back roads can sometimes get really bad.
Probably sucks so bad. It's probably way harder than my suspension.
And it's only fun on like 10% of the roads.
Yeah.
Because it needs to be a smooth road that kind of winds and there's no one on it. That's the only kind of roads where you can really enjoy a sports car.
Right.
You can't enjoy a sports car when just driving around town.
Yeah, no, you
don't.
Like,
on your way to work, you will not have fun driving a sports car unless it's like a 50-mile drive.
The only fun you're going to have is showing off your car.
And having all those cops pulling you over, being like, "Hey, rev the engine." It's like, no, I'm gonna be late for work. No, rev the engine. I'm gonna give you a ticket for $1 million.
Just do it, man.
So let's look at the Golf GTI now. I mean, it's $30,000 off the lot,
or
$10,000. Yeah, any Golf really, and it's nice to drive in. It's a good driving car. It's got everything.
It's a nice family car.
GPS.
It's got space because it's a hatchback.
Yeah, you have 4 seats.
5 seats.
5 seats, right? 4 doors. You can opt for 2, but you can get 4.
It's got that thing in the back seat that you can pull down.
Yeah,
and you can use it as an armrest or as a seat.
Which is the
2
best.
coasters, those things are shit.
Yeah, and then it's a hatchback, so you have a lot more trunk space than a sedan or something, which doesn't.
Sedan.
Yes, sedan. Who's insane?
Who's insane?
Sedan.
Who's insane?
Okay, so and then yeah, so that's pretty prime.
I took a minute to think of a pun.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute,
we got this. I'm on top of it.
But there's actually other things too. Like there's an article that talks about how if you're in a sports car, you're more likely to get pulled over.
Can we also really quickly make this about large cars?
Yeah.
Like a Golf versus like a Ford Explorer was?
Yeah.
Was the Explorer the one that will have the doors open like that?
I think so. Yeah.
Whatever.
I think so.
My uncle recently rented a car because he came into town for a minute. And he let me drive
Only
it.
1 minute.
He was in, and then he was out.
He was literally there for a minute.
And he was in town for a few days, and he rented this giant car that he was like, yeah, it's fun to drive because it's big. And the only reason I slightly enjoyed driving it was because it was like everything happened slightly slower, I guess.
Yeah.
But other than that,
it kind of sucks.
It sucks because going around corners, like I might hit everything.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Parking is a
nightmare.
And
if you're driving in the city, you think you're going to hit everyone.
I wasn't in the city, thank God.
Like that's the worst.
Yeah.
JP's truck in the city is the worst thing ever. He has like this giant Ford F-250, and
and also the miles per gallon.
That's another thing. Gas.
They're like, oh man, it gets 30 miles per gallon. It's like that's not that good.
No, that's not good nowadays. It's average nowadays. Good is like 40, 50.
And if it's a diesel, you can get like 90.
Yeah, and if it's like a hybrid like the new hybrids can get like 130 or something. There's some crazy Golf that gets like
no matter what car you own, there's going to be some asshole with a car that has better MPG.
Yep, it's true. Priuses, man. But
Priuses don't even get that amazing MPG.
Actually, not anymore. But so that would like opportunity costs. You always have to think about the opportunity cost, and it's something people don't really think about.
Have we given like a direct explanation of what opportunity cost is?
No. Opportunity cost is if you, let's say your mom goes, okay, I'm going to buy you mac and cheese, but if I buy you mac and cheese, you won't get something else, like Rice Krispies for dessert, because I'm only buying one thing. But if I buy you the Rice Krispies, you won't get the mac and cheese, so you have to pick. So you're giving up one option for another. That's what opportunity cost is. It's like if it's the same like in our discussion, the Golf GTI. That was a horrible example, by the way. But the Golf GTI and the Ferrari, it's like with the Ferrari,
metaphors are tough.
Yeah, it's like with the Ferrari, you have you get a Ferrari as your car, but the opportunity cost is a ton of money.
Her eyes were as blue as something blue.
Yes.
Yes.
And so you're giving up a ton of money. It's like $80,000 a year, and
This is supposed to be 4 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, but we can edit it. Okay.
Star.
So now we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on
because we probably didn't cover anything at all. But you know what? Whatever.
It's too bad.
Actually, you know what? We listed some price. How much would you say the upkeep of a Golf GTI is a year?
I'd say a year you're gonna spend about maybe $2,000.
$2,000 a year on a Golf GTI versus the $80,000 of a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell, and that's just money. That's not even including like everything else that like environment, like paranoia. Because when you're driving,
that's
your
so
car
messed
is a
up.
sports car, you're gonna be paranoid of everything.
Yeah, like you're not gonna want to park it in like shady areas because it might get keyed.
You're gonna only want to park it in shade.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
You
Because
don't want
sun bleaches the paint, and
no, it doesn't actually. But you don't want to. You want to be sure.
Yeah, so I think we covered things pretty well for operating costs. So I guess we can move on to
hindsight.
To causation.
Causation. Which one?
Causation is like an if-then statement.
Oh, it's like a hypothesis.
Yeah, it's like if you buy a Ferrari, you will break your spine. You go to the hospital.
I mean, like you're not inaccurate, but I mean.
Yeah, but if you buy a Ferrari, you will get laid. That could be.
That's not a one. What if you're really not smooth?
That's true.
What if you just like a girl walks up to you like, "Hey, nice Ferrari," and you're just like, "I poop."
I poop everywhere.
And it's like
I'm a pigeon.
You're not gonna get laid.
I wouldn't. I don't know. Do people actually do that?
I don't.
Gold diggers? Yeah.
Yeah, gold digger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen those videos online where it's like a guy walking up to like a Lamborghini, and then he's just like. The guy walking up.
Can I just say my friend texted me? I just came a pound of semen.
Ew. Edit that out.
Which one?
Yeah,
we're editing all this out.
I know.
No, but have you seen those guys? You haven't seen the videos online where it's like a guy walks up to a Lamborghini and there's like a girl walking by and he's like, "Hey, I want to go to lunch," and she's like, "Yeah, sure." And he goes past the Lamborghini to this old shitty car,
and then
she
she's
just
like,
keeps
"No."
walking.
And he's like, "Wow, you're a gold digger."
And he's like, "Well, fuck you too."
And then there's the one video of the guy where he's he's next to a shitty car and he's like, "You want to go to lunch?" She's like, "No." And he's like, "You sure?" And he walks to the Ferrari. She's like, actually, maybe I'll... Oh, no, Lamborghini. And then he gets in. He's like, "Screw you, gold digger," and just drives away.
Floors it.
Yeah.
That's
and
hilarious.
she's like, "Hey."
What the fuck were we talking about?
Okay, so causation. So causation is the if-then statement.
I once made Minute Maid lemonade in under 50 seconds.
Yes, that's an if-then statement. But so like a Golf GTI or Golf or anything like that, if you buy a Golf, you're going to have a practical family car that's good for road trips and it's not going to make you go bankrupt. If you buy a Ferrari, you're only going to be able to have one passenger. You're going to get really bad gas mileage.
If you have a giant SUV, you're going to have a giant car that can't fit in many
Really impractical.
Yeah, but you can fit your entire son's soccer team in it.
Good, thank God.
But you won't be able to get there because you get 5 miles to gallon.
Yeah, and then you're going to have to refuel.
And the soccer field is 20 miles away.
Yeah, you're going to have to refuel like 80 times before you get to the soccer field. But that's causation. I guess there isn't really that much to talk about for causation on our topic.
If you spend more money on your car, you're going to be more paranoid. About it.
The more money you spend on the car, the more protective you're going to be.
If you have kids, then you're going to want a better car, or a less sporty car, maybe both.
But the thing is, like, you can't really have. I mean, you need a lot of loose cash lying around to have. If you have kids.
What we're trying to say with this entire podcast is, don't get a sports car.
Yeah.
Fuck sports cars.
Well, what we're saying is people don't realize how inefficient a Ferrari is.
If you're going through a midlife crisis, don't get a sports car.
Yeah.
Get a Golf GTI.
Yeah. Like, because what the point of this whole thing is people think just because it's a Ferrari, it's a cool car, and they're like, they go to the lot, they see
getting a Gucci belt.
Yeah.
But that Gucci belt is extremely fragile.
Yeah, and it has a really high upkeep cost.
Yeah, like every other day you have to spend $20 on the Gucci belt.
Yeah.
Belt.
Hey,
because belts. I don't fucking know.
So
find a Gucci bag.
So like, think about it this way: like the Ferrari, you go to a lot, you see $130,000 price tag, but that's not even remotely what it's actually going to cost. And that's the statement we're kind of trying to make is.
Actually, that's not true. Most Ferraris spend their time in a garage under a sheet.
No, but I'm saying that's not the money you're going to spend on it. Like, Because the GTI, it's a usable car, or Golf is a usable car. You can have fun with it on mountain roads. You're never really gonna. I mean, you can max out the car, but anything higher than a hot hatch, you're gonna be kind of scared maxing out the car on the roads, for the most part, just because you're gonna be going too fast. And if you mess up, you're dead.
Yeah.
In any car like that.
That's actually hilarious because like most sports cars, you know those limited time like edition sports cars. Like, most of the time, what ends up happening is they're just crashed.
Yeah.
They're just
like there was a statistic that the Lamborghini Murcielago or Countach. Anyway, point being, it's some Lamborghini, older one.
Made like
and there's 80% of them no longer on the road. Which means that...
Which is kind of a shame.
Only 20% of them are still on the road. That means 80% of them got, like, crashed
Totaled.
Or something like that.
Some guy
just kind of gives you an idea of how
some
many
guy just ruined the clutch too many times.
Yeah, like the guy who got the P1 and literally crashed it on his way home.
You've seen that video online of the Bugatti Veyron running into the lake.
You know that was an insurance thing?
Really?
The guy wanted an insurance claim and he's in prison now for insurance fraud.
What a fucker.
Yeah, he drove it into a lake to get an insurance claim and then...
He bought a Bugatti Veyron.
Well, no, he had it and then I guess he ran out of money or something and he's like, or he's like, I have an idea. I'm just going to drive it into a lake and just cash in on the insurance.
What a fucker.
And then someone filmed it, and that was Rap City.
You mean tell me he didn't just think to sell his Bugatti Veyron
that's
worth $2 million?
No, that's crazy talk. That's crazy talk right there.
What a fuck.
So causation kind of just if-then statements. There's a lot to make, you know. But the main one is if you have a Golf, you're gonna have a practical car, or if you have a hatchback or something, an affordable car, you're gonna have a practical car. You can have fun with on the weekends if you want. You're going to be able to drive your family, or if you don't have a family, you're going to be able to drive yourself. If you have a Ferrari, it's going to cost a lot of money. You're going to be very worried half the time. Yes, you're going to have fun because you have a Ferrari, but is that fun worth $80,000 a year and a lot of worrying and upkeep and stress? I don't know. Up to you, I guess. And then there's one other topic we have to cover, right? There's the causation. There's there's causation, there's what's the other stuff again?
That was a weird burp.
We had
I'm very tired right now.
We already have opportunity cost, we have causation. Star, what's the other one? It's causation, opportunity cost, and... No. There's 3
Incentives!
Oh. There we go. Incentives. Why buy a Ferrari?
Or a Golf, or a big SUV.
Yeah, like what are the incentives?
I have decided...
It is now part of our podcast.
That is now... Actually, because there's the 3 big types of cars. There's
that makes sense, yeah. No.
The only one we're not including is sedans.
Sedans are boring.
Yeah, they're really boring.
And it basically falls
and they're pretty much hatchbacks. Minus the trunk space.
Yeah, you can get a sedan version of the Golf. It's just the
Jetta.
Just
lame.
Jetta.
Yeah. It's a Jetta.
Yeah.
And it's lame. It doesn't have the trunk space.
Yeah.
It's annoying and stupid.
I hate Priuses.
So
Priuses are boring.
So let's talk
Me too.
incentives.
It was just boring.
Let's talk incentives. So what is your incentive for buying a Ferrari? There's actually a lot of incentive for buying a Ferrari.
Well, like I said earlier, like a Gucci belt or bag. Star.
Because that's the thing, like why does you know
you get to show off.
You get to show off. You get to say you have a Ferrari.
Everyone look how big my dick is.
Yeah, and you get to say you're gonna go to the track and drive.
I wonder if
the heck
let
out
us
of
keep
your
that in
car.
our podcast.
Yes.
Because
the Ferrari you can track it.
Also, if you don't know much about cars, you do think you'll be able to drive it fast and like I'll go fast around all the corners.
And that's a big incentive.
Yeah.
Like if a guy came up to you and said, "Do you want to? I'm gonna give you a Golf GTI or a Ferrari." I would say 99% of people would take the Ferrari.
I would take the Ferrari. I would sell it though and buy a Golf.
Yeah, but most people would take the Ferrari just because they're like, why the hell would I get a Golf? I get the Ferrari, and then I don't know what I'd do, but
probably throw it under the thing.
I'd probably crash into a bridge.
You'd probably sell it because you're going to Germany.
No, I'd crash into a bridge because I don't care.
I fucking hate
you. And I'd love it too. But okay. So incentives for the Golf GTI is I mean, come on, folks. We've been talking about it the whole time. You get a really practical car.
Pretty much at this point, we're just saying the same thing.
I know.
It's like, well, the Golf is convenient, and the Ferrari is not.
A Ferrari.
No, it's incentives. So,
but I mean, there's
podcasts are hard when you're trying to be official and everything.
I know, because we can only talk about one thing.
There's only like 2 or 3 things we can actually talk about.
Yeah.
How about SUVs? What's the incentive to buy an SUV? We haven't talked much about those.
Yeah, an SUV. God, I don't know. Well, my mom likes bigger cars. It's kind of funny. I asked her why she wanted like a Mercedes G-Class or whatever, or M-Class, and she was like, I just like being up higher and I think that's a big reason why people like
Because your mom
SUVs.
suffered from
Yes.
What's
Small
There's
dick
a name for
syndrome.
it.
No,
What?
but they like. I mean, a lot of people like the bigger
asphyxiation.
cars because they're like, I can put everything ever in my car.
Yeah, but you
And-
can still do that with like
My
a
friend has,
hatchback.
like, she has like a giant something, and it's like some old Mercedes, and the back was like emergency preparedness.
Yeah.
Like it was full of like canned food and sleeping bags. And,
Your friend sounds weird as fuck.
yeah.
But like, so incentives for the
She
SUV.
can
I
put
mean,
that stuff in the hatchback.
I mean, a lot of people
Yeah.
want the SUV also because they think they feel it's safer because you're in a bigger
We could
car,
also
which
talk-
is true.
We could also talk about minivans.
Yeah, I don't like minivans
No one
at
likes
all.
minivans.
The only
If you
people
own
who
a
drive minivans are Asians.
The only reason you own a minivan is because
Your
You're-
kid plays soccer,
your wife told
and
you
you're
to
Asian.
get one.
Yeah, you're Asian, and your kid plays
We're gonna-
soccer.
this is getting racist.
Can't be racist.
This is getting racist.
It's, you know
We
what,
can
shut
get
up.
as racist as we want, Star.
You know, this is my podcast, not
and
Candace's.
I don't appreciate the attitude you're giving.
But in the real though, SUVs. I mean,
I don't know.
there is reasons. I mean, they're safer.
I never got SUVs.
You have a bigger mass, so if like a little Golf hits you, you're fine.
I should probably ask my uncle like why he likes SUVs because I never got it.
That's the problem. Talking about something you don't understand.
Yeah, it's
Like I don't.
I kind of get. It's kind of the whole American thing too. It's like muscle cars instead of supercars. We're just like, let's just go fast in a straight line. And like SUVs, just like let's just get.
And
as
even
much stuff
then,
as
the
we can in
European cars are still fast.
Yeah,
in
in a straight line.
which is hilarious. It doesn't really like what. Like I don't get why people like muscle
Actually,
cars so much.
there. I think it's mostly Dodge that's keeping up that stereotype.
Yeah,
And Dodge isn't very good.
Dodge. You know, you kind of want to dodge a Dodge.
Wasn't
You
that
don't
Viper
wanna-
thing that had the revs where it would get all the way up and it would show the snake?
Yes, the snake.
Oh,
Dude, House Slytherin.
that was the worst thing in the universe.
I know, and it was, and then the back lights
And
were
the brake
snakes.
lights
Yeah,
were-
they were
oh.
snakes.
That's brand recognition if I've ever heard of it. Unfortunately, it's a brand that no one likes. Imagine like
Shit.
then driving.
Imagine like your Apple had like Apple everywhere on it, but instead of Apple, it was like a pear.
HP.
It was like HP.
It's just like you had your nice Apple computer, but then like all over it just says it says Google Plus, and you're just like, oh god.
Google Plus. That's not even a computer brand. Oh gross.
Oh god, no.
What the fuck are you talking about, Google Plus?
But I mean, I don't know.
Imagine if you stapled HP all over your computer, even though it's custom built.
I'd do it.
Staple it. Just be like with the push stapler. The fuck are we talking about?
All right, we can stop this.
We can
for
stop.
now.
Here, wait. We need to do the outro.
Oh, okay.
Let's do a little outro. So, all that being said, if you're dumb and you have a lot of money, well, not even if you have a lot of money, get the sports car. But don't take a sports car over a regular like hatchback, even a sedan.
Like you have to understand why you're buying the sports car. If you're just buying it to show off, then okay, yeah, you're gonna buy it either way. But if you're buying it because you go, I'm gonna
Midlife
drive
crisis.
my Ferrari really fast, I would reconsider.
Don't listen to used car salesmen
Yeah, they just want your money,
with their Humvees and
My
their smiles.
father was a car salesman.
and they're
Your
with
father
their
is the
Hawaiian
devil.
T-shirts and their flip flops.
They usually wear suits.
No, not the used car salesman.
Yeah,
Used-
they do.
The
Yeah.
new car salesman wears suits.
That's true.
The used
Oh,
one.
okay.
See, the only used car salesman I can think of is the one from Transformers. That black guy.
Oh, that guy. That guy was a
With
fucker.
the hair.
He was like, "Oh, it's $3,000." Like it was $2,000.
It's like, yeah,
it's like,
but now
yeah,
it's
but I'm
$3.
Jewish.
Yeah, but now it's 3 because I'm a bitch.
Man, this is getting really. Were we doing an outro?
Oh yeah. So I guess in conclusion, before you buy a car, like a Ferrari or something, think about what you're actually buying the car for, and realize that a car like a GTI or a Golf or something can be a lot more fun than you think it is. Like personal experience.
Yeah.
When I wanted to get a BMW M3, and I was like, oh my god, that'd be fun, and then my parents were like, just get a Golf, you know, and I was like, but that's so boring. And then I got it, and I actually realized it was a ton of fun.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to think about that.
Whatever.
The M3, dude.
Yeah.
Because
I always wanted I never actually even like. I mean, for a bit, I always kind of wanted a supercar. But for me, it's always been like.
I still want a supercar.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course, everyone wants a supercar, but like.
Well, I want it for different reasons.
I'd rather have like a Fiat or a Mini. I like tiny cars.
I like my
They'll make you gay.
Outback better than anything.
You think I have issues with that? I am accepting.
Don't worry,
myself.
way ahead of you.
Wait, what are you saying, Star?
I think my Subaru Outback is the perfect.
Your car is pretty nice.
It's really.
You need to clean the shit out of it, though.
What?
You need to clean the shit out of your car. My car isn't
isn't
even my car.
My car just has like a giant bong bag in it.
I don't even drive my car. I drive my dad's car.
Yeah.
Actually, it's
Oh
my
yeah. No, your dad that bought
It's
it
my
for your
mom's.
mom, but he bought it for her, right?
He bought it for me.
He is the minis.
He hasn't. I like the Mini. Mini's fun. Mini's
Mini's cool.
my dad's cool.
All right, we're gonna
Roll the exit.